Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. This article was submitted by Patreon supporter Adam Martin. Adam, thank you so much. It's a Caitlin Johnstone article, which I've covered her in the past. She's pretty awesome, independent. She's on medium.com. She calls herself a rogue journalist, poet, and utopia prepper, which is great. So this article actually came out in September, and it's very critical. Her article is very critical of an article that was in the Intercept, and it's entitled "The Intercept Tries to Conflate Opposition to U.S. Syria Invention with Neo-Nazism." And it's one of the things she goes into is who is the Intercept starting to hire. And I did an article several months ago, is the Intercept still believable? And I'm starting to notice things in their feed. I'm like, what? That sounds a little deep statey. That sounds corporate media-ish to me. Glenn Greenwald still seems to be operating autonomously, which is a good thing, but it's pretty, her article is, and what she's bringing forward is pretty sound. I mean, I'll go back. Let me show you who she's talking about here. With the so the owner is the Intercept's founder, eBay billionaire Pierre Amadar. Is this pivot. So why is the Intercept suddenly hiring these blatantly pro-establishment war propagandists? Has it gone full WAPO, Washington Post, which was bought by Jeff Bezos for $250 million? And Bezos, as Caitlin Johnson points out, wasn't buying it because he thought there was going to be this amazing resurgence in newspapers. He bought it to control the message. So because he's paid $600 million by the CIA. So Omadar, who is the eBay billionaire that is the founder of the Intercept, is already working toward developing artificial intelligence software to serve as an arbiter of truth in news media, and who reportedly had some extremely shady involvement in the 2014 coup in Ukraine, which ironically was spearheaded by neo-fascists. So it's really looks like her accusation, her claim is that the owner of the Intercept is doing kind of what Jeff Bezos has done with the Washington Post. So, and the specific that she goes into this article, the Intercept is trying to say that, so anyone that's in favor of, the Intercept's article was Assad's vision of creating a homogeneous society is what white nationalists have aspired to create for themselves. So they make this, and what the Intercept's article leaves out is U.S. interventionism. It's so crazy. Syria is about two pipelines. It's about, we want a pipeline in there with the Saudis, and Russia wants a pipeline in there with Iran. So it's all about, it's just like, it's pretty insane to me. But I want to go into some of the things that she brings out in the what Caitlin Johnstone says about the article. The article is essentially one long gish gallop of individually weak and mostly unrelated bits of information, such as the fact that white nationalists known as Baked Alaska was once seen wearing a pro-Assad t-shirt. The fact that an SS officer might probably have advised Bashar's father on torture tactics in the 1950s and allegedly died in Damascus, and the fact that part of a recent speech about the war given by Assad can possibly be translated as "we lost many of our youth and infrastructure, but we gained a healthier, more homogeneous society." The later claim is especially bizarre because Elba, that's the person who wrote the article, because Elba does an attempt to argue that Assad would have been using the term homogenized in the same way a white supremacist would use it, instead saying that Assad's meant a society free of any kind of political dissent, rather than ethnically homogeneous society. Leaving aside the fact that Elba is making a completely baseless speculation about a nation that has been under attack from terrorist forces for many years, is truly jaw-dropping that the Intercept would permit the publication of an article which makes such a lazy, loose association so pivotal to its argument. The mental gymnastics necessary to carry one possible translation of a statement in Arabic all the way over to an association with a fringe American support for white ethno-state while openly acknowledging that they aren't even using the same idea is staggering. God damn, I love the way she writes. Yeah, it's all these ridiculous speculations that the Intercept is making. And the article, she also says, the article attempts to spin the alt-right support for Assad as something that is happening in a vacuum, having nothing at all to do with U.S. interventionism. In reality, most white nationalists oppose the Western interventionist agenda in Syria because of the word nationalist, part of their label, not the white part. Civic nationalists feel the same about Syrian interventionism as ethno-nationalists do because they place primacy of the nation state above what the InfoWars crowd views as a globalist agenda of world domination by the plutocratic owners of multinational corporations and banks. Their philosophy necessarily means honoring Syria's sovereignty as a nation state since they don't view it as hostile to America's sovereignty as nation state. I'm writing this article because I know its sentiment will be used as a weapon against people like me who speak out against Western interventionism in Syria. The propaganda campaign against the Syrian government has failed, and it's getting desperate. And now because of arguments like this, which arise from the desperation, it's only a matter of time before people who contradict the establishment Syrian narrative start getting shouted down as Nazi sympathizers. Great article, and I'll put the link of it in the show notes below. Because Caitlin Johnston, if you're not aware of her, she's someone I would suggest reading. And I really thank Adam Martin for submitting this article because it's great to catch up with what Caitlin Johnstone is doing. And it shows, it kind of hits the whole theme of everything we're talking about. So the corporate media, which is, just owned by and run by the corporate state, it's just the propaganda arm of the corporate state. This is the thing they're trying to spin. Right? So, you're either a Kremlin puppet or now you're going to be a neo-Nazi. So if you go against the American war machine. So it shows you how related it is. And just like in Russia, there's all these new Russia things coming out. Russia, Trump's ties to Russia. And Trump probably has a bunch of nefarious ties to Russia. But they're no more nefarious than any of the other ties that any other American business people have. And did he run a corrupt campaign and everything? Yeah. Is Russia trying to get him in power? Maybe because they had more dirt on him? I don't know. Could be. But the Clintons have a lot of ties to Russia. And it's just ridiculous. So I really think I don't trust anything the corporate media says, and now I'm suspect of the Intercept. And I appreciate Adam Martin for pointing out that Caitlin Johnston is pointing this out, and I appreciate you guys supporting me on the Patreon. If you go to patreon.com, cards get charged in the first of the month, so if you're watching this on the last day of January, go to Patreon, then on the first your card gets charged, and then you start enjoying all the rewards. You get to submit articles, you get bonus audio, you get early access to the podcast, you get bonus video every week. For $25, we can do a Skype interview. There's a bunch of really cool things for you guys to participate because you guys have helped grow this channel. You guys have helped make this what it is. And I did 7,000 subscribers in a year. So in 2018, let's get this up to 15 or 20,000 subscribers. What do you think? So thank you for supporting the show, and keep making Gotham great.